Okay. Introductions are always the worst part of any YouTube video. Let's go. First thing I notice, you're out of order. Number one, I feel like in these kinds of things, it's worth putting the person at the top first because we're going to be comparing everyone to them. So the way that I'm thinking of this sort of ranking is that the way that someone will get into the spot above somebody else is if they would win in a 1v1 fight. And I will also be assuming that everyone here is in the peak of their power. So if we see someone like Malfurion Stormrage in the books at the peak of his power, 1v1'd Archimonde. So he would be above Archimonde in the ranking because he won in a fight, okay? So I'm assuming at the height of their power, regardless of what that height may be. Anyway, let's get this started. Number one, we have to change the S rank to Sargeras rank. I don't know what to tell you other than this guy is the most powerful character in all of Warcraft, always will be. He literally stabbed a planet. Roll the clip. He stabbed a planet. Moving on. Okay, so anyway, from here on out, we'll be going alphabetically. Aegwynn, or Aegwynn. I don't think Aegwynn's name has ever been said out loud by a voice actor in official Warcraft stories before. So I just call her Aegwynn. Aegwynn is an incredibly powerful character, one of the last guardians before Medivh. Medivh's mom defeated the avatar of Sargeras, so a portion of this guy's power, but a portion. That's an important distinction. It was a portion of Sargeras' power. That being said, she was able to defeat it. Aegwynn, incredibly powerful, infused with all of the power of Azeroth, all the ley lines, blah, blah, blah. It's all covered in the comics. Don't read the comics. A tier. A for Aegwynn. All right, Aethas Sunreaver. You are a mage. You're a mage. You're a mage. You helped destroy Theramore. You're a mage. B tier. Because I feel like C tier would be like non-magical people, right? Because every mage or magic user in Warcraft's story, Warcraft's lore, is going to have an innate advantage over the people that can't use magic. Like Aethas Sunreaver never loses in a fight to, I was going to say Aggra, but I guess she's a shaman. Brann Bronzebeard. Although Brann could shoot him in the head.
Your history.
But you get what I'm saying. Aethas and other mages can teleport and summon fireballs, shields, all that kind of stuff. We're going to say B tier is going to be safe mage tier. Aggra, you're just an orc and you're a shaman. We don't really know anything about your power level. C tier? Sure. Same with Akama, really. In the Illidan novel, he heals people. He helps defeat Illidan at the end of the Black Temple raid. He's there in Warcraft 3. He's a sneaky boy with his other Draenei who were also sneaky boys. He's just kind of a standard shaman fighter guy. I don't really think there's anything special about Akama. Alleria Windrunner. Now, again, peak of their power, which means Alleria, in this case, at the peak of her power, consumed a dark Naru. An entire Naru became like a Void Lord god thing. Very powerful. In the vision of Stormwind from N'Zoth, it's like she loses her power and becomes like a Void god. So I think Alleria goes up here in the peak of her power. I think Alleria and Aegwynn would actually be a really interesting fight to watch, and I would dig that.
Huh?
Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. So Alexstrasza is a dragon aspect. That's a lot of power. I mean, that's like Titan infused juice up power. I think Alexstrasza easily kills Aethas Sunreaver. He can barely harm her. Alleria would do like the, but I feel like Alexstrasza could beat her. Could Alexstrasza beat Aegwynn? Aegwynn defeated the Titan, the Avatar of Sargeras. Do I think Alexstrasza could beat the Titan Avatar of Sargeras? Probably not, right? I'll leave that tentative for now. I think Alexstrasza beats Alleria but loses to Aegwynn. Anduin Wrynn, you're just a priest. Very powerful healer. I think in a 1v1 fight, I think Aggra would dom him. So I'm going to put Aggra. Welcome to our first D tier, Anduin Wrynn. I just don't care. I'm sorry. I used to like you a lot. Miss Pandaria. I thought it was great and fun. Very great philosophical character. You know, the one voice of reason, very similar to what Jaina used to be, the one voice of reason in a world of madness.
Ugh, look at them. Already they plot against us. Seize this moment, Varian. Dismantle the Horde.
God's men!
What will you learn? What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
But you're just a priest, and you could stay alive for a long time, sure. Aggra's beating the shit out of you with like a rock. You're healing up, you're throwing bubbles, you know, stand as one, all that kind of thing. But you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Zakan, Zappy Boy. He shoots lightning, he's a zappy boy, and that's the whole joke. And then they made him like a real character. I don't care about Zakan. He's like a child. He's like a troll child. That said, I would like to watch him kill Anduin. Okay, Archimonde. So, Archimonde, one of my favorite of all time characters ever. I love Archimonde. I think Archimonde is awesome. At the peak of his power, he's insane. He snaps Malorn, the wild god Malorn's neck in the War of the Ancients. He just grapples the fucking antlers. He's got the Finger of Death thing in Mount Hyjal. He's so cool. I love him so much. He goes in A tier easily. I think Archimonde could beat Alleria, and I also think, you know what, I think Archimonde could beat Alexstrasza. I would love to see them fight, too, because you know it would be so cool, but I think he's got all kinds of fucking crazy Eridar warlock magic. He would just, like, start punching her in the fucking dragon face. It would be so great. Oh my god. That said, if we are to believe, and I do, that the Avatar of Sargeras is probably more powerful than Archimonde, and Aegwynn could beat the Avatar of Sargeras, Aegwynn is still the peak of A tier, the Aegwynn tier, if you will, right? So Aegwynn stays at the top, Archimonde, her lieutenant, the other ladies here. Arthas Menethil. I don't know. So at the peak of his power, he's the Lich King, right? The Lich King is not a separate entity in here. I see Bolvar here. I do see Bolvar. So I'm just assuming that this is Arthas as the Lich King in the peak of his power, which is pretty strong. I mean, the Lich King, the face of wrath. I don't know. Would he be able to beat Alleria Windrunner as a Void God? Would he be able to beat Alexstrasza? I don't know. His power, the thing about Arthas is that his power is very vague because they use him a lot for dramatic effect. Like in Wrath and the fucking Pit of Saren dungeons, he like walks after you very slowly. And it's like, sure, it's like about his confidence and his imposing. He's like Darth Vader. He's Warcraft's Darth Vader in a lot of ways. But he kind of like, okay, so, but then at the end of ICC, he kills everybody without like any effort. He's like, all right, enough of this bullshit. And he, right, all right, can I do a better Arthas than that?
You were right, Fordring. You were right, Fordring.
And then Tyrion raises them up from the dead. But I don't know, that's like a gameplay mechanic. Do I really believe that Arthas can just like stab his sword into the ground and kill everyone around him instantly? He is very powerful. Do we allow summons in these 1v1s? If Arthas can do summons, I mean, he could like bring Sindragosa out to fight Alexstrasza. Okay, you know what? I think Archimonde dunks on him easily because it's Archimonde, but whatever. And now for the what is this follow-up? Who are you, ma'am? What is your name again? Minor antagonist from Battle for Azeroth. Katherine? No. She was a boss. She became a fish. She became a fish. The point is, she's just a lady. There's nothing special about her. She's just a lady. Who are you? I mean, I know you're a blood troll, but who are you? Anyone? I mean, you're obviously a blood troll. I didn't play Horde in BFA. I don't know who this is. Does Yasma mean anything? The name Yasma is coming. Here's what I'm going to do. If I don't know who you are, you go in who, and let's make that gray. Who? Okay. Queen Azshara. Hello, my queen. Described in War of the Ancients, Chronicle, pretty much everywhere that Azshara is mentioned, she is referred to as one of, if not the most powerful mages in Warcraft. Sometimes not so explicitly as that, but I mean, she founded an entire empire and had an army of sycophants surrounded her because of her power. Helped bring Sargeras to Azeroth, almost bring Sargeras to Azeroth. Then, infused with power by N'Zoth, became a Naga, a badass, cool fish yolk Naga. Obviously incredibly powerful. I think she at least goes toe-to-toe with Alleria, right? And I think Alexstrasza... I think it might be time to bump Alexstrasza down more. Because the more I think about it, she's just a big dragon. You know? When have we actually seen Alexstrasza do anything cool? She's just a really big, dumb dragon. And we watch her fight... Oh my god, Dragonflight makes this so much worse, doesn't it? Because we watch her fight Razageth 1v1. And Razageth is just like a proto-drake. Like, she barely even uses any magic. She like zaps her out of the sky, I remember that. But also just like kicking her is like an effective move. Like, you can just... If you're big enough, you can just kick Alexstrasza out of the way. I feel like Azshara would be able to do that with magic. And I think so would Alleria. Probably. Alexstrasza, you might be the bottom end of A tier the more I think about it. Does Alexstrasza beat Arthas, the greatest wizard, versus the Lich King? I'm saying allow summons, because otherwise Arthas goes into B tier. She could do like black, smoky, and he would be like, bleh. I feel like Azshara might beat Arthas. I'm not an Arthas fanboy like a lot of people are. Everybody gets so freaking uppity about this guy. He's not that great, guys. He's not that great. Anyway, Baine Bloodhoof.
Somebody!
Can Baine Bloodhoof beat Zappy Boy? Zakan? I guess. Why not, right? He would just like run at him and then he'd be like, zzz, and that would be it. He'd be dead. Bolvar Fordragon, presumably, so you would think, given that Bolvar and Arthas are both the Lich King, they both share the same powers, but I don't know. Bolvar's got like a fire thing going on. He's fused with like the blood from like the fire from a red dragon. You know what? Because of the Shadowlands cinematic, I'm going to put Bolvar at the bottom of A tier and just assume that he's worse somehow. I get the feeling that he's just worse somehow. As many people do, I get the feeling that if Sylvanas went to 1v1 Arthas at the top of Icecrown in the Shadowlands cinematic, she wouldn't have walked away victorious. I just get that feeling. But that's also, I understand that is because Blizzard has a lot of plot armor around this guy, and not so much this guy. This guy we like. We don't care much about this guy. So, Gorak Tul, minor antagonist in Drustvar in the Battle for Azeroth. Your powers are very vague, buddy. I think it was elaborated upon a tiny bit in Shadowlands in Ardenweald, but I don't care. You can chill in B tier with Aethas Sunreaver. I'm going to assume you could kill him, because he's just like a mage. But, yeah, I don't know who you are or what you do. So, Brann Bronzebeard, I love you, Brann. You're a fun guy. And you have a gun. So, I think... the mental picture of Anduin doing this big dramatic speech about the light and how great everything is, and then Brann just fucking cold cocking him right in the fucking head. Sorry, lad, it's the rules of the fight. Just fucking takes him out. Yeah. Power word shield that one. Broll Bearmantle, you are just a druid. You're a druid. You're from the comics. I don't know if you've made an appearance in game.
No.
Druids are pretty cool, pretty powerful entities overall. He could transform into a bear. Definitely kick Akama, Aggra, and Cairne's ass as a bear, probably. I feel like Aethas Sunreaver, though, could just do some Frost Nova. You know what I'm saying? Blansamdi, another very vague character whose look, you guys, your color palettes actually go together really well. You make a good team. Your powers are very vague. You're the Loa of Death. You gave strength to King Rastakhan at the BFA cinematic in the Battle of Dazar'alor. Any askers? I don't care. You're fine. You're a demigod. You're a Loa. We don't know what Loa even are. They're just like spirits. Anyway, you're fine. You're in B tier. Welcome to B tier. Cairne, go ahead, right above your boy. Actually, I think you would beat the shit out of Aggra. And actually, yeah, Cairne will take the top of C tier. Cairne will take the top of C tier. Cenarius. Okay. Now we're talking. So Cenarius in Warcraft 3 had deity armor or god armor or whatever it was called, where you literally you really couldn't hurt him unless you were empowered with chaos damage, hence the blood of Manaroth. It's implied he's like a god that cannot even be hurt.
You cannot defeat me. I am the heart of the land.
That said, every time he makes an appearance in World of Warcraft, he usually gets bodied. No, that's not true. He helps defeat Ragnaros in Cataclysm. In Legion, he gets bodied. I think he's at least up here with the nature weirdos. I'm willing to put him at the top of B tier. I think he could body Gorak Tul. And I don't think Blansamdi would want to fight him 1v1. Yeah, I think welcome to lower deity tier. I do think Bolvar could probably kill him. Alexstrasza could probably just burn the shit out of him. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Cenarius, he's a good boy. Who the fuck is this? Pandaren 234? What are you? Who? I'm assuming this is Terran Zoo, right? Is Terran Zoo in here? Where are the T's? There's no Terran Zoo. Who the fuck is this? It starts with a C? Is this Chen? This is Chen Stormstout. Okay. Why would you not use official artwork? That's very confusing. I'm guessing this is Chen Stormstout, in which case, welcome to C tier. I don't know. Maybe you would beat Akama. Cho'gall. Wow. Okay. Cho'gall is very powerful in the comics. Even in game, actually. I mean, I guess... So in the comics, he consumed the essence of Cthulhu after Cthulhu died and became an uber god. And then the only one that could defeat him was Madan, who, if you know who that is, you know why I'm not elaborating on that. He's the final boss at the end of the Bastion of Twilight raid, where he's pretty strong, unless you did it on Heroic, and then Sinestra is the final boss. Cho'gall's really strong. Could he beat Cenarius? I think yes. Yes, because I'm envisioning in my head a world where Cenarius fucking roots him, you know, and he's like, and then he's like starting to, and then Cho'gall just, and he does like a big goblin roar, ogre roar, and he's like, we're the bad guys, and then they zap him with some shit. Yeah, I think Cho'gall beats Cenarius. Does he beat Bolvar? I would love to see it, honestly. Shit. So many of these fights, I'm like, I would pay money to watch. I really would love to see Cho'gall versus Bolvar. And Alexstrasza, for that matter. I mean, for right now, I'm leaving... Well, wait a minute. Alleria Windrunner consumed the essence of a Naru, fallen Naru. Cho'gall consumed the essence of an old god. Which one of these is more powerful? What if we put them side by side? Can he beat Alexstrasza? Where were we? All right. Chromie. Hello, Chromie. I feel like I am in the... Well, I was definitely in the minority before because I do not care for Chromie. I think that the anti-Chromie community has slowly been spreading, I think, throughout the Dragonflight expansion because she's such a, like, kid character of like, oh my gosh, the infinite Dragonflight is doing this bad thing. What are we gonna do to stop them, Nosdormu?
Ha! Figured it out, did you? A little too late. You're working with the Infinite? What a terrible Chromie!
And it's like, oh, whatever the voice actor's direction. You're doing a great job. Really, you are, voice actress, whatever your name is. You're doing a great job. If you were like part of a cartoon show for children and, you know, get them to go to bed. If you were on Coco Melon, you'd be doing a great job. Okay? You're in what at least used to be a gritty, dark fantasy kind of game with demons and old gods. So anyway, Chromie's a dragon, which instantly puts her at least in B tier. Do I think Chromie could beat Aethas Sunreaver, aka any mage, the representative of all mages here, in a dual 1v1? Yeah, I do. That's pretty straightforward. She's got time magic. Aethas does not have time magic. Bwonsamdi, yeah, I think so. We haven't really seen him do anything to prove that he could kill a dragon. Gorak Tul, though, I have reservations about. I feel like the little that we do know about him is that he is a very powerful shadow boy. He's very vague, but I think I know for sure Cenarius would be able to beat Chromie. All he would have to do is get her on the ground, and then it's just like Root City. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable putting Chromie here. Welcome to not dragon aspect, but still a dragon tier, Chromie. Also known as mage tier. Thank you, Aethas. Cthulhu. Speaking of old gods, Cthulhu is one of the old gods.
Death is close. You are already dead.
The one we pretty much know the least about, right? Because we know the most about Yogg-Saron. We dealt with him a lot in Wrath of the Lich King.
Bow down before the god of death!
We know about Y'Shaarj from the Chronicle novels and from Mists of Pandaria.
All of your friends are dead. No one is coming to save you.
The entire antagonistic force from Mists of Pandaria was just Y'Shaarj's remnants. N'Zoth was a big part of BFA.
Her dreams sing beneath the surface. Our dreams. Our song.
Well known to be the guy that corrupted Deathwing to begin with, so we know a lot about them. Cthulhu, not so much. Part of his essence was absorbed by these guys, Cho'gall here, when he was killed in Classic. This was during the comics. Anyway, this is all a long-winded way of saying I think Cthulhu easily takes A tier. I may even put him above Aegwynn, right? Because So let's do some calculus, right? These two, Ajara and Cho'gall, were both empowered by the old gods. This is an old god. So whatever power they have, which is a lot, is nothing compared to the beings that actually give them their power. Like, Cho'gall got his energy and a lot of his strength from this guy right here. So he at least has to be above Cho'gall. I would definitely say he's above Ajara. One of N'Zoth's lieutenants, but not, comparable in power to N'Zoth. Archimonde, I don't think Archimonde can solo an old god. And the same goes for Aegwynn, honestly. Aegwynn was able to take down an avatar of Sargeras, which is a very powerful thing, really cool. But the old gods are just the way that they're described in lore. I know we've beat them in raids. We've beaten all of the old gods except for Y'Shaarj in raids because Y'Shaarj was actually killed before we were around. I don't think that changes the lore significance of Cthulhu. All these guys, I might as well just grab all of the old gods right now and shove them into A tier. I don't see a reason why not to. Hey, Yogg-Saron, you can go here. Where's Y'Shaarj? Y'Shaarj is not here? There's N'Zoth. It should be in the Ys. Okay, there's no Y'Shaarj in this list. I mean, I guess fair enough. The only thing we know about him is that he was plucked out of the planet by Aman'Thul before anything got started here. Yeah, okay. Get dunked on, Y'Shaarj. You're not even allowed to be a part of this. Speaking of old gods, though, hey, Deathwing. I feel like Deathwing could body Archimonde. I think he could. We know he can body Alexstrasza, so that's not a question. We've seen that happen in-game, in the Cataclysm. Roll the clip! We've seen that happen. Alleria, no. Cho'gall, no, he's too big. I mean, Deathwing is fucking huge. The raid we did to attack it, we rode on it, he stood on his back, and he was like, oh, a little fucking thing. Which, by the way, just hey, Deathwing, just for future, if you watch this video, just see this? Right? Does that make sense? Do you see why I'm disappointed in you? Anyway. Now, Arthas, no, too small. Ajara, no. Archimonde. Aegwynn, the reason I think Aegwynn might be able to beat him is because she beat the Avatar. Now, I keep repeating myself. Aegwynn beat the Avatar of Sargeras, guys. Did you know that? It's crazy. Yeah, that's like the only big thing she's notable for, other than being Medivh's mom. But it's worth noting, the Avatar of Sargeras, incredibly powerful thing, being, entity, and she did that, and it was probably comparable in power to Deathwing, with all honesty. So I think Aegwynn stays girl bossing up in A tier above Deathwing. Perhaps. Yeah, I'm willing to... We'll come back to this at the end. Draka and Durotan, welcome to Normie tier. Yeah, you're just a normal... You're just orcs. How do I... Who would win in a domestic violence dispute between these two? Because that's the question, right? Everybody else was settled by who would win in a fight. Which of the two of these two would win in a domestic situation? I feel like the writers would say Draka, because girl boss. I'm just going to leave it there. Aggra, get down here. I don't care. Aggra, you can die. Durotan would get the shit slapped out of him by his wife and then go on to beat his son's wife just for humiliation that he suffered. Okay, moving on from that non-controversial topic. Hello, Elisande. You're an Ajara clone. You are an Ajara clone. Beat for beat, you are an Ajara clone. With the big difference being you can control time. Do I think Elysan could body Arthas? Yeah, I do. I do. Especially, remember, peak of their power. Elysan has the power of the Nightwell. Arthas is just the Lich King. I think Elysan could easily, even with summons allowed, Elysan can vaporize all of the undead and then body Arthas by just like kiting him, like the old, like classic WoW duels between mages and warriors. I think that's what that would look like.
All must die, living or dead. You will serve me. You will become my what?
Motherfucker!
Can she beat Ajara? Let's keep them equal for now. Falstad Wildhammer. You're just a guy. Welcome to Dwarf Tier. I think you could beat Brann Bronzebeard in a fight. Then again, he might just shoot you. Either way, welcome to Dwarf Tier. Gallywix, you are obese, and you have no fighting capabilities at all. Welcome to D Tier, my friend. Garona Halforcen, solid. Top of C Tier, maybe verging on B Tier. Garona is a master assassin. She killed Varian's dad. In a fight between her and Cairne, I think pure speed and agility, dexterity, she might outdo Cairne. Because I feel like you get one or two cuts on this guy here, he's just going to crumble, right? That is literally what happened to him with Garrosh. I'm willing to put Garona at the top of C Tier for now, and we'll revisit that later. Speaking of Garrosh, hello, my friend. So you are an easy B Tier boy, I think, Garrosh. At the peak of your power, you were kind of a gross tumor. A tumor, man. You were a tumor. Yeah, Garrosh, great warrior, confused with the power from Y'Shaarj, from the heart. Managed to beat Thrall in a 1v1, worth remembering, but then also lost to Thrall in a 1v1 later. But he wasn't empowered by Y'Shaarj at that point, so we don't count that. We're remembering these folks at the peak of their power. Y'Shaarj, old god Garrosh, could probably not kill Bolvar. I don't believe that he could. I don't know why. I just don't buy it. I think Bolvar could freeze him, and that would be the end. Hello, Genn Greymane. You can go into... You're just a Worgen, dude. You don't have anything special about you. You're not a master tactician. You're not a great leader. You're not anything special. You're just an old man that looks out for Anduin. I'm gonna put you... I think Baine would probably kill you. By virtue of having the Worgen curse, you're naturally gonna be stronger than a lot of people. But...
What the fuck was that?
Grommash Hellscream. Now there's an interesting one. So Grom, at the height of his power, would have been when he was in Ashenvale, killing Cenarius. So, right off the bat, we know where Grom would at least go. He did, in fact, kill Cenarius.
The demigod has fallen. The war song is supreme.
Is Grom more powerful than his son at the height of his power? Grom infused with the blood of Manaroth versus Garrosh infused with the heart of Y'Shaarj. Call me biased, because I am. I think Grom is stronger than his son, even with all of his power. I would absolutely love to see that fight between a demon-infused Grom and an old god-infused Garrosh just going at it. Both of them have Gore Howl, and they're just whacking away at each other. It would be sick. I'm trying to think of any mitigating factors that might make one better than the other. Let me know if I missed anything. Gul'dan, strongest warlock ever? Strongest warlock ever? I feel like that's true. I mean, he fucking the clip of Varian dying. He summons a freaking like not only an infernal, what are they? What are those? The big robots. Yeah, world's greatest warlock, I think, that we've ever seen. And at the height of his power would not only be the beginning of Legion when he summoned a Fell Reaver, I just remembered what it's called, from the sky. He is, at the end, he does like that thing from the Joker does in that one Batman game, where he goes from being like the smart, sophisticated bad guy, clever and cunning, to the brute, to the big, strong, steroid-up juice man. He's at least up here, right? And I think he beats Bolvar in a fight. I think he beats Alexstrasza in a fight. I think he beats Alleria in a fight. I think he beats Cho'gall in a fight. I think he beats Arthas in a fight. I think he... Oh! Elisand? Gul'dan, empowered by the night well. He could beat Elisand, empowered by the night well. But I think Ajara puts that boy in his place, right? And he never attained anything like what Archimonde or Kil'jaeden had. So I'm going to put him there tentatively for now. Who are you? Ah, yes. Generic Blood Elf number 658. Now, I'm pretty sure you're Halduron Brightwing. I don't even know how I know that name. Who the f*** is Halduron Brightwing? Were you in Zul'Aman? Are you a Zul'Aman? Is this Zul'Aman? Whatever. You're a Blood Elf. Welcome to Who Tier. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. Hi, Helia. Helia's pretty cool. Helia can go... Helia was pretty strong in her fight. Trial of Valor, she kind of went hard. She's basically a Titan. Well, she's a Titan forged to begin with, and then she got like dark, mysterious powers. So I'd have to put her above Gorak Tul. She could probably body Sunrider. She's just too big, man. She's too big. That's like the same, it's the Deathwing effect. If you're big enough, you don't have to be as strong, right? Like I think Deathwing in terms of raw power, if he were a human, would probably be comparable to someone like Gul'dan, for example, or even weaker than Gul'dan. But because he's just so freaking massive, what is Gul'dan gonna do? Gul'dan's on the picture of the Maelstrom, right? And our Deathwing's hovering above him with his big fucking wings. Deathwing just and breathes fire on him and he's dead. He might be able to do like a cloak and be like, whoa, I cloak myself in fair magic. And then Deathwing just... right? So that's the Helia advantage. We'll call that the Deathwing dilemma. The Deathwing dilemma. If you're big enough, it doesn't matter how strong you are. And Helia's got that to a degree. I think she's probably stuck at the bottom of A. No, Bolvar can't beat her. No, I'm wrong. I'm stupid. Alexstrasza can fly. Helia's got tentacles. I don't want to think about where that ends. Why are you looking like it's just like... We've got the full display of emotions on these faces, man. I can't get over it. I'm going to put Helia next to, in between Alleria and Alexstrasza. For now. For now. Hello, Illidan. People are going to get mad. Illidan... kind of mid? Honestly? Kind of mid? So let's think about this, right? Let's really dissect. Because we're going to put everyone in the list as they would behave, or as powerful as they would be, at the height of their power. Okay? So let's think about what this means for someone like Illidan. Illidan was a very powerful mage, very powerful sorcerer during the War of the Ancients. He becomes a demon hunter at some unspecified time that's never covered by lore. Well, he gets blinded by Sargeras. Yeah, obviously we all know that, but we don't know when he becomes a demon. At some point, I'm pretty sure in the old TBC lore, He absorbed a demon called Azonoth, and that's why the blades are called Blades of Azonoth, but I've never been able to find this text anywhere. If you have it, please link it in the comments. And then 10,000 years go by. He comes out and he absorbs the skull of Gul'dan, which turns him into a full-on demon, at least a half-and-half demon. And he says, now I am complete. Now, from then on, can we think of any point in the story where Illidan gains any more power than that? I did not play a demon hunter in Legion, so maybe there is something along the way. He obviously gets a story plot armor buff in Legion because he's our friend now and he has to be like a cool badass hero. I hate this face, by the way. I fucking hate this face and the context around why he's making this face. Ooh, he's all in all not that strong, and the power that he has is borrowed from this guy. At least some of the demonic power is borrowed from this guy. He lost to Arthas in a 1v1 when he wasn't even the Lich King yet. He was just a guy. He was not only just a guy, he was Arthas, but like weaker. I know the book says that the Lich King channels like the last of his power into Arthas to get, but Arthas was just a guy. This may be controversial. I know this is controversial. I think Garrosh Hellscream, the Hellscream boys could both bully Illidan into a corner at the height of their power. Yeah. That's where I'm putting him. I think he could maybe kill Sunrider. You know what? Wait a minute. Who? Could he kill Sunrider? We'll leave you there for now. Jaina Proudmoore, very strong. Mage. Aethas, mage. Obviously a stronger mage than Aethas. Stronger mage than pretty much anyone. She might be the top of B tier. Because I think the Grom and the boys, all these boys, would not be able to get through her shit. Her mage shit, you know? The shields, the armor, the blasts of frost and fire and teleporting and all that. I don't think that the boys here would be able to get through that. I don't think any of these chuckle fucks could really power through all of the shit that Jaina can do. And at the height of her power, she's got a battleship. So, top of B tier. Kael'thas Sunstrider. Another mage. Would we consider Tempest Keep the height of his power? Or Magister's Terrace? I don't think we should go off of the notion that the size of the raid determines how strong the enemy is. So, like, just because Magister's Terrace is a 5-man dungeon doesn't mean that he is weaker there than in the 20-man Tempest Keep raid, right? Assuming either is the case, I think Chromie could kick his ass. I really do.
Don't look so smug.
Now, this gets complicated because I feel like Cenarius is like a Pokemon. He's like a grass-type Pokemon. And Kael'thas is like a fire-type Pokemon. So he is like doubly effective. So I think he could beat Cenarius, but not Chromie, you know? So I can't really I can't have like an even split, can I, without moving Cenarius down a tier. I'll just leave him as is for now. Kalecgos. I don't care. Kalecgos. I don't care. I've never cared. I've never been able to care. I've tried, man. I've tried to care. I've tried so hard to care. Tides of War is a great book. I tried so hard to care. I can't. I'm going to take a controversial stance here. Kalecgos goes into who tier. I don't care. I just don't care. He's weird looking. The new model they gave him in Dragonflight makes him even more weird looking. He looks so awkward, so goofy. He fell in love with the Sunwell, and then Jaina, and then he's just this like dragon fuck boy.
It was about coming together.
I just don't care. I can't be bothered to care. Who are you? Katherine Proudmoore, Jaina's mom. As far as I know, you're just an old woman. You're just an old woman.
Come topside, sweetheart.
Welcome to D tier. We'll put you next to your buddy. Why not? I'd love to see them kick the shit out of Gallywix, though. That'd be cool. Kel'Thuzad! Look, even fucking Khadgar is pogging at Kel'Thuzad standing next to him.
How come?
Kel'Thuzad, very strong. The height of his power would have been Naxxramas? I'm not including Shadowlands in this. Kel'Thuzad's peak actually may have been Warcraft 3, right? Because when he had the spell book of Medivh, and he's used it to summon Archimonde into the world, he's like channeling like Fell Hunters to come into existence. He's basically a warlock at that point. I mean, obviously Naxxramas is incredibly strong too. Either way, totally insanely powerful mage. I would love to see a showdown between these two. That would be so sick. I think he at least belongs at the top of B tier. I don't think he belongs at A tier because the Lich King is just him, but better. More powerful, and there's no denying that. He derives his power from the Lich King. So you can't pretend like, what, he could be Bolvar. Like, no, he couldn't. Anyway, that's where I'm putting that. Khadgar, another very powerful mage, comparable to Jaina. I think he goes up here for the same reasons that Jaina goes up here. And Kel'Thuzad, for that matter. These three, this really is mage tier, isn't it? There's so many mages in here, except for your Aegwynn, who's just overpowered as shit. I don't think I need to elaborate on Khadgar. He's got Atiyesh. He can turn into a bird, which doesn't help in battle, I would imagine. And he's just a mage. He's a very powerful mage. Yeah, I think that's fair. Kil'jaeden, get up here, buddy. Get up here, you. You two belong together. I just love you. I just love you. Where are the Dreadlords on here? The Dreadlords aren't on here. No Tichondrius, no Varamothras, nothing? There are no Dreadlords on this list. Okay. Well, if they were, they would go roughly up there with the boys. I love these two. I'm a total simp for the Eridar boys. These two right here. I love them. Crassus? Corial Straws? Is that you? Right? Because Kil'jaeden, yeah, so K-I. Yeah, okay, so, because you're Lady Bot. Yeah, so you're a K, which means you must be Crassus. You're just a dragon. We don't really know that much about you. You died exploding yourself and all your children because they've been corrupted.
We're too late. This entire
Ruby Sanctum
must be purged.
Welcome to B tier. You can beat up Aethas Sunreaver while you're here. I don't think there's anything special about you. Lady Vosh, very similar vibe. I might even just put you in C tier. I don't think there's anything very special. Yeah, you were a boss in Serpentine Cavern, but that's just because you're a major lore character. I don't think there's anything. And most of that fight was just killing ads. It wasn't even fighting you. You're not even that strong. It was just annoying to kill the ads that kept coming up the slope. So yeah, Lady Vosh, meh. I'll even put Garona above you. No, I won't. Liadrin, Paladin. Paladin has some advantages. You can become invulnerable, for one thing. Self-healing. Paladin's pretty strong. Blood Elf, meaning lots of years of experience. I like Lady Liadrin as a character. Her representation as sort of the figurehead of the new Blood Elf movement after the purification of the Sunwell. I think that's cool.
Unblemished, bathed by the light of creation, just as it was at the dawn. In time, the light and hope held within will rebirth more than this mere fount of power. Mayhap they will rebirth the soul of a nation.
Blessed ancestors, I feel it. So much love, so much grace. There are no words. Impossible to describe.
Dragon fuckboy. I don't know if we've ever seen her do anything incredibly badass. She's just a paladin. And that's okay. I think that's what the C/B tier can be for. It's just like Aethas is just a mage. You know what? Here, go. You can beat Lady Vosh. You can be top of C tier. I might end up bumping you down, actually, based on the rest of the people on this list. Yeah, I think I'm going to bump Aethas down. No longer mage tier. Lor'themar Theron. Get killed by Chen. Die to this panda now. Yeah, that's how I feel about Lor'themar. Okay. You are a Magatha Grim Totem, aren't you? Alphabetically, you must be Magatha Grim Totem. Meh. Beat up Aggra. Magni Bronzebeard. Meh. You are made of diamond, which means you might be unkillable. For all we know. Do we know if Magni is able to be killed at all? I'll put you at the bottom. You could beat up all these people, I think, right? Oh shit, he's climbing the ranks. Oh lord, he's climbing the ranks. Now I get stopped by Cairne. That's how I feel. Then I'll put Cairne above you, and I'll put you down here because you win that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Maiev Shadow Song. At the height of your power, I mean, you can teleport, you're very nimble and quick, and I think the height of your power would probably be during Stormrage novel, when you had, like, booby traps. Cool shit. You were like Batman in that book. Oh, dude. Stormrage. Good book. Maiev is like evil Batman in that book. It's a lot of fun. And they basically retconned it in Legion so that Illidan could be a good guy. And Maiev could also be there. Because the Stormrage novel just spits in the face of Legion's story, or rather Legion's story spits in the face of what Stormrage was trying to do. Was it Stormrage? Am I thinking of the right book? It wasn't Stormrage, it was Wolfheart. In the Wolfheart novel, I'm sorry, the story of Wolfheart is then shit upon by Legion because Maiev does a bunch of awful shit that she's then immediately forgiven for, and it's insinuated that she was like under mind control or something, but there's no indication in the book that's good. Anyway, Maev's very strong. I'm willing to put her the bottom of B tier, I think, or maybe top of C tier. I think that's fair. Now, Malfurion Stormrage. It's true. I don't have to speculate on this one. I think I said it at the beginning of the video. There's no need to speculate on where Malfurion goes. Wherever you put Archimonde, put Malfurion one above that. Because in the War of the Ancients novels, Archimonde kills Malorn, the Wild God, Cenarius' daddy, and Malfurion gets so mad, you can see here, look at how mad he is, right? That he nearly kills Archimonde. And if not for like some luck, I think he gets distracted or something. There's like something that takes his attention away for 1 second. And in that 1 second, Archimonde manages to, cloak himself out. But Malfurion could have in that moment 100% killed the Defiler. And therefore anything that Archimonde could beat, Malfurion could beat them too. Sorry, it's true. I know in the games he's a total meme. No! I know. I know how the meme goes, but in the lore, Malfurion Stormrage is one of the most powerful beings on Earth.
We are coming.
Malygos, the Spellweaver. You're pretty good. I'm willing to at least throw you into A tier. I don't know where in A tier you would go. Alexstrasza is up here. Maybe just put you above her. And Alleria. Maybe we stop at Cho'gall. Yeah. Malygos. Yeah. That's fair, right? Yeah. Matthias Shaw. You got the James Bond thing going on. I think he probably could beat Cairne. We'll slice and dice action. Could probably beat Vaj. But I think a good mage could stop him. Definitely a good paladin could stop him. I think Liadrin needs that foot. Yeah. Hi, Medivh.
What do I do, Lord?
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
This is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible says, it's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said. It's what they warned of. It's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' humans, okay? Hillary Clinton is a goddamn demon.
So this is a confusing one because Medivh, at the height of his power, is Sargeras in miniature. But he was also killed by a guy with a sword. Like he drained the life from Khadgar, which is why he's old, by the way. This guy is like 40. If that. Khadgar, if you didn't know, in the lore, is actually quite young. But when he tried to fight Medivh to stop him from being evil, Medivh drained his life and rapidly aged him, and that's why he appears as an old man. He's not actually that old. So Medivh can simultaneously do that, which you would think would mean that he's unstoppable. But he was also just killed by a guy with a sword, which puts him in a complicated place, for sure. He's inherited his mother's power, but also Sargeras. Medivh. I was kind of dreading getting to you because I don't know where you go. You don't fit neatly anywhere. Tell you what, I'm willing to put Medivh right there. Right there. Right there. That's where I'm willing to put him. Should he go in Sargeras tier? Because he's also Sargeras. Whatever. Gelbin Mekator. Why you got two of the same goggles on your head, man? What is this look, bro? You have a mech suit. You have a mech suit. You have a mech suit. And with that in mind, you have a mech suit. Yeah. Moira Thoresen, priests. Priests. Don't get me wrong, Moira. I love you, but you're not much. Magni. No, Muradin. Pretty good, but you're no Magni, and you're not made of stone.
I'd feel a wee bit overshadowed if I didn't kick so much ass.
I think you would beat the shit out of Genn Greymane. I think you'd even beat Baine, but I think Akama hard stucks you. The Thanos Blightcaller. So, this is where we get into problems with the way that the game portrays these characters and the lore. The same thing kind of happened with Malfurion earlier, but backwards, right? Where Nathanos is described. So, on the one hand, he's the first human and the only human to ever make it into the Farstriders, which is a very elite bunch of rangers in the armies of Silvermoon. So right there, he's an incredible marksman. He's a great and skilled outdoorsman, shooter, fighter, all this stuff. He's great. The best of his kind. They didn't welcome humans into the Farstriders in the first place. He was so good they had to make an exception. So he's pretty good. But he's also just a guy. He's human. He's done dead now, but he's just a guy. And then in BFA, they made the horrible mistake of empowering Tyrande with like the most overpowered thing ever. She literally walks into a camp and just evaporates everybody around her with the moon god power. And then she fights Nathanos on the shore and he like wins. I mean, it's not that he wins, but he like gets away with his life. Like what the fuck? And then later he's killed by Tyrande again. They fight again. And then this time Nathanos is anyone's guess. I'm willing to put him in B tier. He's also got his dogs, like in classic WoW, that was like a thing. He's like a boss fight in Plaguelands. Whatever. You can go right there, Nathanos, as far as I'm concerned. Ner'zhul is a shaman. Ner'zhul, at the height of his power, would be the Lich King. But there's already 2 Lich Kings. Because before Arthas became the Lich King, this guy was. So I guess I'll just put him there with Arthas. Like how much of a downgrade Bolvar was. It's not even the... I'm sure he's fine. And for the sake of the story, he had to lose. So Bolvar gets downgraded. I'm sorry, Bolvar. Nosdormu, another great example of, in the lore, being an incredibly powerful character. He can literally see all time and space. He's like freaking Doctor Strange at the end of Infinity War, right? And he can see every outcome and possibility, but then the old gods fuck with him. I mean, he get like... And then Dragonflight, oh my god, Dragonflight. Every time, they recognized, right, that one of their pivotal characters, one of their main characters they really want to focus a lot of the story on, has an ability that makes it impossible for him to be surprised or alarmed, or like he should be able to see what's happening before it happens.
Before you is the cache of the aspects. Take from it what you will, for you have more than earned the right.
Although you may want to hurry.
12 seconds later.
You have done nothing!
He should know, oh hey, Raszageth is about to break out. Oh, the Incarnates are escaping. Oh, the fucking Jarradin are doing their shit. Like, he should know all of this ahead of time because he should have seen it all at the same time. He doesn't exist at any one point in time. He is the aspect of time, meaning he exists everywhere at the same time simultaneously. And the old lord treated him like this, right? He was a very incredibly aloof figure in the War of the Ancients. And those Dormer, because in the books, in the War of the Ancients trilogy, he barely even shows up at the end because he's like, in the time. The whole point of the War of the Ancients trilogy in the first place was because there was a time paradox because Nosdormu got stuck in the fucking well of eternity by the old gods. Some fucked up shit was happening. The point is, he's not just a dragon aspect. He is everywhere at all times, all-seeing and all-knowing, which makes it hard to place him. Hypothetically, he should be S tier, because he can just see what's going to happen before it happens. But he's also bound by the limitation that he can't change anything. So he can see it, but he can't warn anybody, which is like, then what the fuck is the point of being able to see the future if you can't change anything?
What did you see?
Fine. Fine. Be with Malygos. See if I care. Odin. Odin is a Titan-forged construct. Arguably the most powerful Titan-forged. He sacrificed his eye to himself to peer into the Shadowlands and steal some of that power to create Helia's prison. So he's at least more powerful than Helia, that's for sure. I'm starting to doubt the Alleria Windrunner placement. The more that I look at her up here, the more I'm like, you don't belong in this pantheon of gods. I want to put Alleria at the bottom of A tier, I think, from now on. That's where I want her to be. And I'm comfortable with Odin sitting here, too. I think that's just a really good place. And it's kind of funny, because he's like looking, she's like pissed off, and he's like, you mad, bro? Also, you may never have noticed this before. Go do the Trial of Valor or Halls of Valor, any dungeon instance, whatever, do some quests in Stormheim with Odin in them and listen to him talk. It's just Khadgar. It's the same voice actor, and he's barely doing a different voice. It's just a little bit deeper.
I will never be the Legion's pawn, and this tower will not be its den!
It's been ages since I faced a worthy opponent. Let the battle begin!
Anyway. Ragnaros, the Fire Lord. I mean, he's A tier for sure. There's no doubting that. And this is another Deathwing dilemma, because Rag is very powerful, but he's also just big. He's just very big. And it's hard to even touch him when he's that big. He might even go up. Ooh. Would Ragnaros be next to Deathwing in terms of power? Do you think that Malfurion could beat Ragnaros by himself, 1v1? No, right? Like, all of his power comes from nature. This is another, like, Pokemon example. Malfurion is a grass type, and Ragnaros is the world's strongest fire type. Like, there's no contest. I'll put Rag right here. I think he beats all these noobs. Rastakhan, I don't care. I think you are an incredible waste of potential for your character. Like the whispers of the Zandalari Empire and King Rastakhan, the 200-year-old king. I don't know. You just kind of were a lame idiot. At the height of your power, you were infused with the strength of Bwonsamdi, who is a B-tier character, in my opinion. You can go... Oh, God. 1v1. Cairne? Cairne? Yeah, you can go there. You don't impress me. You don't impress me. Rexxar. You're an ogre guy. You're half ogre. You got a bear. You have a bear. You're cool. Don't get me wrong. I love Rexxar. Rexxar's a great guy. Do I think Rexxar could beat Maiev in a 1v1? I don't think I do. Maev's pretty strong. Liandrin, maybe he could just cut him up. Shar could just cut him up. Aethas could just be, from a distance, the Lady Vosh. Ooh, Cairne. Oh, with the bear. Oh, Misha with the steel chair from behind. I don't know. Yeah, I think I put Rexxar there. Ronan, welcome to Mage tier. Where's Aethas? You are a mage, Ronan. You are a mage. And that's it. Archmagister Ramath, Mage. Welcome to Mage tier, my friend. Join the ranks. Barak Sarfang, a similar, a Garrosh adjacent character, very similar archetype of the honor-bound warrior who is very strong, just naturally. I think Sarfang, he's pretty good. Do I think Sarfang could have beaten Cenarius? I'm not willing to believe that, though. Any of the dragons, really. Even Nathanos, I think, might have been able to 1v1 him. People are going to get mad at that. Oh, people are not going to like that. I said Nathanos could probably beat him. Welcome to the bottom of B tier, Sarfang. I know, you're just as surprised as most of the audience is. Sylvanas. Oh, no. I forgot you were even here. I forgot you're even here, babe. What is your picture, by the way? Is this a picture of the, sculpture you can buy of her? Why does she look so different from everybody else? Why did they not use it in-game or art? Anyway. Alright, well, we know she at least goes here, because she beat Bolvar 1v1. Okay, but can you imagine picturing the Shadowlands intro cinematic, but instead of her walking up to ICC, she's walking up to the Trial of Valor, and Odin's sitting there on the throne like he is right now, and he's just like, what the f***? And she tries to pull her shit, and he just Talanji, I don't care. You're another priest. Welcome to priest tier. What is your name? You're Bolvar's kid. Talia Fordring. Talia? Whatever. You're nobody. You're a kid. You have a hammer. You can beat up this old lady and this goblin. Thalysra. No, you're just welcome to Mage tier. Thrall. At the height of his power, Thrall. I mean, he's up here with the aspects, right? He's gotta be. With the dragon soul, just right? Yeah, I think that's a good place for Thrall. Tyrion Fordring. bodied by the Lich King quite easily until the end, where he, broke out finally. You can beat Kel'Thuzad, sure. Turalyon, a veteran of 1,000 years of war against demons, empowered by the Prime Naru Zira. Incredibly strong paladin. More powerful than Tyrion Fordring? No, Tyrion has the Ashbringer. I think that is a big difference maker for them, but I'm willing to put them side by side. That said, I think these two would be close. Because I think Kel'Thuzad's biggest benefit is the waves and waves of undead all around him. And I think Turalyon's biggest benefit would be just like mowing down those undead with a bunch of like holy magic and a big, you know what I mean? We know Tyrion would do it because the Ashbringer, why is it called the Ashbringer? Because it can literally just turn the undead into ashes by touching them. So that's not a contest. Yeah. Tyrande at the height of her power, meaning Night Warrior Tyrande. Again, inconsistent because she was able to one-shot a bunch of Horde troops, but not Nathanos. She's clearly very strong. I'm willing to put you here. You and Illidan can make moon eyes at Cenarius from across the tier here. Zul'jin.
I hate you. I hate you all.
Kill Aggra for me, would you? Zul, the Prophet Zul, welcome to Priest tier, my friend. I couldn't give less of a f***. Uther the Lightbringer, Paladin. I think you can top out C2 with Uther. We have no reason to believe that he's an incredibly powerful Paladin. He was one of the first, sure, and Paladins are very strong. Compared to, keep in mind, your average run-of-the-mill soldier in the Warcraft universe is in D tier here. The people in D tier are pretty average run-of-the-mill people. And then there's also the King of Stormwind. But, yeah, I think Uther being in the top of C tier is a good place for him. Valeera Sanguinar, at the height of your power, you would have been possessed by a Dreadlord, which is pretty strong. I mean, you had no control over your possession by this Dreadlord, but it ostensibly makes you Dreadlord powerful, doesn't it? Even if you didn't have your own free will. You still had a Dreadlord inside of you. I'm willing to put you up next to Alleria. I think Valeera is really underutilized and underappreciated by a lot of Warcraft fans. Like, there's no other real, other than Matthias Shaw, there's no other, like, real rogues. Maybe Garona, but, like, meh. Like, they all kind of came out of the woodwork in Legion, but I think Valeera's backstory of all of them is the most interesting to me, personally. Anyway, you have to read the comics to know it, so it doesn't matter. Varian Wrynn. Wow, I get some heavy hitters in the bottom tier here, the final run-up, and also Varisa. Varian Wrynn, the Lion of Stormwind. At the height of his power, would have been infused with the power of Logosh, the wild god, the name that the orcs gave to the wolf god Goldrin. He beat Garrosh in a 1v1. If not for extenuating circumstances, he would have won this 1v1. That said, this was not Garrosh at the prime of his power. This was not Garrosh infused with old god magic. This was just Garrosh. Varian versus Illidan. I feel like Illidan might cop that one out because of magic. Varian versus Cenarius. Cenarius roots and wins. Varian versus Tyrande. Varian versus Night Warrior Tyrande would actually be sick as hell to watch. Remember, we're not thinking of Shadowlands, so she can't fly. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Prophet Velen, incredibly powerful man. Not big on using his power, unless needed. Velen, peak of his power, would have been when he was holding the Atalai crystals. Wait, Atalai are the trolls. Atamai crystals? The crystals from fucking Draenor that he could use that were like incredibly powerful. I think he's got to go at least at the top of B tier, if not A tier. Varisa Windrunner, the weakest and least important of the Windrunner sisters. You're just basically a hunter. Welcome to Hunter tier. Vol'jin is just a troll. He's a shadow hunter, but he's a troll. Welcome to Zul'jin tier. I feel like you guys need to go higher up here. Wrathion is a baby dragon. Could Varrock Sarfang kill Wrathion? He could, couldn't he? He totally could. Xavius, at the height of your power, my god, you almost ended the whole world in Stormrage. Are you kidding me? This guy almost took over the entire planet at one point. He almost won. The Stormrage novel, Xavius is the most powerful bad guy to ever exist. I mean, sheesh. I think you even go above the dragon aspects. Even the Lich King is not that strong. Arthas never came close to ending the world. Xavius, he might have to go all the way up. Now that said, this is a contest of 1v1s. And Xavius at the height of his power would have been the Emerald Nightmare Xavius in Legion in the Rift of All, where he's like a big bookie with summons allowed. Okay. I think this is a justifiable spot for him. And oh my god, I didn't even realize the irony. Xavius was Azshara's like #1 boy. And he became more powerful than her in the end. In my opinion. Yrel, welcome to Paladin tier. You're basically just a paladin. And the final character, final dragon aspect, Lady Ysera. You can put people to sleep. You can put people to sleep. I mean, obviously A tier, she's a dragon aspect. I just don't know where in A tier she would go. I guess next to Alexstrasza? Kind of anticlimactic, but there you go. There's my list. Alright, I gotta review and see how I feel. Maybe I flip him. And maybe him. And you. And you. Now, I'm comfortable with that, not only on a story level, but also because these two boss fights are almost identical. The Cataclysm Cho'gall boss fight in Bastion of Twilight is almost identical, mechanic for mechanic, and even size of the enemy between Xavius' boss fight at the end of the Emerald Nightmare. Okay. After reviewing, I think this is my list. The definitive Warcraft character, lore character, power ranking list. You know where to put the feedback. Thanks for watching.